funnel. Let's see, D-links, chain. Oh my gosh, chain. A piece of Velcro. 1,200-pound boat winch or hand winch. I used to weigh like 85. It caught me doing some inventory on a project that I'm working on right now for the cabin. We've put our 6-gallon bucket feeder up there for some deer. Try to make it a little bit bear proof, and kind of thought a little bit of expanding that, getting something a little bit bigger. So I'm working on a project right now to get a 30-gallon drum and turning that into a feeder. That's where the chain and the winch and all the links and everything are coming in, and look for that in the spring sometime. It should be a pretty good setup, and hopefully you're going to be able to get something out of it. And again, like feeding the deer, but don't like feeding the bears constantly. I mean, they're going to come in, they're always going to eat the corn, but don't like them going up there and trying to destroy your feeder. And those of you in bear country certainly know about that. There's no way you can have a feeder on the ground without a bear coming and pushing it over, opening it up and taking everything out inside. Kind of was looking at the motor piece of it. So we have the normal spinner. You can't have a feeder without the spinner on there unless you do a gravity one, which we're not going to do. So we have the spinner, and right now I have a 6-volt battery attached to it. And I was kind of thinking about maybe what should I do with this, because I want to have it up the cabin. I want it to last all summer, not going to have to worry about it. And kind of got thinking, well, maybe I'll go ahead and put a solar panel on there, put that onto a rechargeable battery, and then I won't have to worry about it. But instead, I kind of got into thinking, what can I do to get myself a real good, just 6-volt battery that's going to last? Because it's basically, we put it up in May and we take it down in September, so you have about that 4-month range in there. We do not keep it going all year. Pennsylvania game laws dictate that you cannot feed the deer 30 days before a season opens, so we want to have everything out of there. We usually go up there rifle season, which is at the end of November, but there also is bow, and if one of us wants to go bow hunting, that begins the beginning of October. So I want to have everything out of there usually by September 1st, September 15th at the latest. So basically my battery's got to last 4 months, and sometimes these 6 volts will last the 4 months and sometimes they won't. That's why I was thinking about that rechargeable system and the solar panel. Looked at that. It's about $10, $12 for the battery, and about $25 for the solar panel. So that's about $35 you have invested in a battery for a 4-month period. So I got looking at these and looked at some Duracells and some Eveready, some good quality. Rayovac's a half-decent battery, but the price point dictates that they're not going to last as long, they're not going to last as long as a Duracell or Eveready. So I got looking at those, and we're talking $14, $15 for the Duracell or Evereadys. So I don't have to worry about the battery, because that's your key component basically in your feeder. I got looking at what I could do to kind of get around this. At least a little bit more economical than the $35 for the solar panel and battery, $15 for Eveready. So I kind of got looking online for something that could hold 4 D cells, because basically that's what's in here. It's 4 D batteries, and there's a few videos out there about taking these apart, and basically you see the D batteries inside. And you kind of get thinking, if there's 4 D batteries in an Eveready or Duracell for $15, and you buy 4 batteries, it costs you about $7, $8, $9. You're basically paying like $5 or $6 extra for this little fancy packaging and the springs on the top of it. So I looked online for a battery holder for D batteries, looked around a lot, and everything that I was finding was very expensive, or it was coming from China. I was going to have to wait a month, 2 months for it to be delivered, and kind of got looking at Radio Shack and went up there and found 2 of them for $3 a piece. So I have two. Really, it depends on which way you want to stack the batteries, but they're both a 4D battery holder, and again, that's really what's in here. And if you look online a little bit, you just can't use any 1.5 volt battery, because a AAA is 1.5, AA 1.5, C 1.5, they're all 1.5s, but it's really the amount of current that's pushed out for that. So you can't just stick some AA's in here, 4 AA's, and think you got a 6 volt and that's going to be good. So I still want to go with the D's, and found these for $3. So price point great, convenience great. Radio Shack, while they're still open and open for business, because I heard they are going under or closing, went up there and bought about 4 or 5 of these, and went ahead and started to take a look. And let's open one up. And it's basically just holds your D batteries in place. Now this is a Wild Game Innovations spinner or feeder spinner, and you're going to have to watch it. Some of your spinners aren't going to be able to fit this in here, but this does fit in there, and I'll get some close-ups of this. So basically I just going to be able to grab some D batteries, and also what I'm going to use is those new Duracell Quantums, and these are basically about the best battery you can get without going to a lithium. And these were 15 for 10, so that comes out to $1.50 a piece. I'll use 4 of them, so do the math, comes out to $6. So what I got this for 3, and this is, so there's $9 right there. And I know this is going to last all summer long. I'm not going to have to worry about temperature changes with these, cold nights. I'm not going to have to worry about it at all. So I am going to go ahead and use these. But I'm not going to open the pack right now. So I do have just some Rayovacs. And again, that's the same thing that's in here basically, is 4Ds. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these into the holder. And I did put these alligator clips on the end of it just to make it a little bit easier. Some of your, actually the timer piece of it comes with the alligator clips. Some of them come with that little piece that you would attach to a rechargeable battery. So I figured it'd just be easier to alligator to alligator. Just have that on real slow right now. But that is going to work perfectly for me. I'm going to take quart size freezer bag. Just go ahead and put that right into the freezer bag. And seal that up. I could also put a piece of electrical tape around there. So basically you do have waterproof battery compartment, and that fits right in here. So I'm going to be able to put this right in there, and again I'm going to have these Duracells going to last me all summer long, basically $9. So right there I saved myself $7 over a great nice Duracell battery that's not as good as one of these, and just a teeny bit more expensive than this initially. These are about $8 in Walmart these days. They seem to have been creeping up lately. They've gone from about 6 to 7, now they're also creeping up towards the 8 mark now. So now that I have these holders right here, I'm gonna actually use these in all the feeders that I have, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this setup. So basically, it's only going to be costing me $6 a shot for the best battery that I can actually get. So nice little tip there. If you care to do the same thing, run out to Radio Shack, get yourself one of these nice 4D battery holders. If you want to put the alligator clips on, that was $2.50 for 4 of them. So that was just a little bit more, and it makes it pretty darn convenient. And this is going to be really good. It's going to work out real nice. Fits in there good. I do have some Velcro to get the timer piece of it up, so I can fit the batteries in there. And again, you're going to have to measure your spinner itself to make sure that one of these can fit in there. Again, there's the 2 style. This, the battery stack, and the other type that they're next to each other. This is actually a little bit smaller than this one. So you may want to get yourself the stacking type. I got both just to test them out. So this is White Rook 85 signing out off the Delmarva Peninsula. Bear proof 30-gallon deer feeder that we're going to be stringing up with a chain and using the winch to crank that up, and hopefully all we're going to have to worry about with that is nothing. So that's going to be a pretty good setup, so stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you next time.